How's it going, guys? It's Rad. So yeah, the WWE Smackdown review from last night. Let's get started with it. So Smackdown starts off with Samoa Joe coming out to the ring. As soon as Samoa Joe gets to the ringside area, he again goes and pulls out a ladder. This is that now. This looks like a 10-foot ladder for once, Michael Cole. What Samoa Joe pulled was a 10-foot ladder. Whatever fucking ladder they pulled on Raw was 6 foot. Good try. So Samoa Joe would actually take the giant ladder. He'd bring it into the ring. Samoa Joe would then set it up, climb to the top, and then unhook the men's Money in the Bank briefcase, of course simulating what will happen at Money in the Bank in a few weeks. In the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Then Samoa Joe grabs the microphone, and Samoa Joe goes on saying how he's gonna beat Daniel Bryan and qualify for Money in the Bank. Not only do that, but win Money in the Bank. And Samoa Joe says when he does, he's gonna make whoever the WWE champion is scared and turn SmackDown upside down. Then Daniel Bryan would come out, and Daniel Bryan, of course, saying how he's gonna win, and then Daniel Bryan says we don't have to wait till the main event to have the qualifying match, and he proposes they have it right now. And as they're about ready to square off, Big Cass would come out. Big Cass, of course, saying that both Daniel and Samoa Joe are fighting like children, and how they're both small compared to Big Cass. And Big Cass tells Daniel Bryan he talked to Paige, and Paige said that Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan will not happen, but Big Cass versus Samoa Joe for the final SWAT will happen as soon as Big Cass is cleared. And then Big Cass said, which is right, which is now. And then Big Cass strikes Samoa Joe with his crutch. Daniel Bryan would then go after Big Cass, throwing some yes kicks. And as Daniel Bryan went to go, trying Irish whip Big Cass into the ladder. Big Cass would throw Daniel Bryan to the ladder. Then Big Cass would strike Samoa Joe with the briefcase, along with Daniel Bryan. And then Big Cass is standing tall with the briefcase. Backstage after commercial, Paige was asked about it, and Paige then says that nobody makes decisions or speaks for her on her behalf. And then Paige is like, well, Big Cass has a good point. Daniel Bryan, however, earned an opportunity last week when he beat Jeff Hardy in the last chance, in the last second chance match. So then Paige says the only way we can solve it is by making it a triple threat. So the main event for the main event will be Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass, with the final spot for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match on the line. So after all that is sorted out, we then get a one-on-one match. We get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ty Dillinger. Of course, this match was set up by, what do you know, fucking Twitter beef again. Honestly, people need to grow the fuck up, seriously. So to go on with the match, it was a pretty decent match back and forth. Ty Dillinger was actually able to showcase his skills for a change. The ending of the match, most of that match, as soon as Shinsuke took Ty down, Shinsuke would start doing the 10 count. Of course, simulate what will happen in a last man standing match. First time Shinsuke do it, he got to a count of 3. The second time, Shinsuke got to a count of 7. The third time, Shinsuke got to a count of 9, then Ty fought back. In the end, Shinsuke would hit the knee to the face from the second rope, followed by the Kinshasa to get the 3 count for the win. After the match, Shinsuke would then strike Ty Dillinger in the back of the head with a Kinshasa for post-match assault. And then Shinsuke would successfully count to 10. To simulate what he would do to AJ Styles at Money in the Bank come a few weeks. I think it's actually 2, 3, 4 weeks. Like it's June 17th is Money in the Bank, so we're getting close to it. See, after that, next up we get a dance-off. What the fuck? We get Naomi and Lana in a dance-off. Wait, what the hell? Do we have time for this shit? I thought we were not only trying to make this WWE series about wrestling again, and I thought we were trying to make the women mean more. If you're trying to make this women's revolution about women's wrestling skills, a fucking dance-off is not the way to do it. That's the complete opposite. What the fuck are you doing, Vince? Vince, you arrogant fucking idiot. So to the dance-off itself, Lana would come out with Aiden English and Rusev in her corner, and Rusev was sharing this live via Instagram. Oh look, more social media shit. But in the end, we also get to celebrate and add another chapter to the book of Rusev Day. The greatest holiday in the world. For Naomi, she come out with Jimmy and her husband Jay, the Usos, in her corner. Both of them will have a pretty good dance-off. Near the end, both of them will do a tandem dance-off. Until Lana would hit a neck breaker on Naomi because Lana, from the looks of it, Lana lost. So Lana was being a sore loser, of course, being a heel. It would then lead to an all-out brawl, with the brawl ending with the Usos super kicking Rusev and Aiden English, and with Naomi hitting the rear view on Lana. So Naomi and the Usos are standing tall. Like, fuck, you could have made this a 6-person intergender tag team match if you wanted. They'll probably do that next week. Next up, we get a one-on-one match. We get actually a 6-man tag match. We get The Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro against The New Day. So to the match itself, a couple highlights in the match. Xavier Woods' suicide dive on Cesaro was really well executed. Especially with Xavier using Sheamus' ass as a cushion to jump up in the air. And then Xavier Woods' Hurricane Rana DDT through the second rope was pretty good. Very well executed. You know, of course, last year I had my doubts with New Day. But, you know, they're starting to try and get back. You know, I feel, you know, a couple of them have good skills, like very well executed moves. You know, I think, you know, Kofi did sort of botch the SOS because he didn't go in for the pin. But hey, match ending, though. Yeah, match ending after Kofi Kingston. After Sheamus and Cesaro intercepted Xavier Woods' suicide dive, Kofi Kingston would take him out with a suicide dive of his own. And then Big E would counter a running attack from The Miz and hit the big ending to get the 3 count for the win. And we still don't know which member of the New Day will be competing at Money in the Bank in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. But next up, we get a women's match. We get Asuka versus Mandy Rose with SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella on commentary. Of course, as Asuka was coming to the ring, Mandy's partner, Sonya Deville, would attack Asuka from behind for pre-match assault. Match itself, it was back and forth. In the end, Asuka would put Mandy Rose in the armbar to get the submission victory. After the match, Carmella would get in the ring and hold the championship right in Asuka's face. Pretty much telling Asuka she ain't scared. Sure you aren't, Carmella. Sure you aren't. And of course, we also find out that next week on SmackDown, we will have Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch one-on-one. But yes, now we get to our main event. Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe. The winner gets the 8th and final spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Match itself, couple highlights. Daniel Bryan's Avalanche Hurricane Rana from the second rope to Samoa Joe. Very well executed. You know, Big Cass's close line to Daniel Bryan. Now it's very well executed. Very good timing. If anything, I think Daniel may have oversold it a little bit with the flip, but hey, you know, whatever gets the crowd into it. Match ending. Daniel Bryan would have the yes locked in on Big Cass. Samoa Joe would counter it. Daniel Bryan would then hit the running knees on the Big Cass. As Daniel Bryan's going for the pin, Samoa Joe would break it up at 2 and lock Daniel Bryan to Coquina Clutch. forcing Daniel Bryan to tap out for the submission victory. So the 8th and final spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match belongs to Samoa Joe. So now in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, our 8 competitors consist of Samoa Joe, Rusev, Miz, who else? Braun Strowman, Finn Balor. I think there's like a member of the New Day. I think there's like, I forget the last 2. So I'm just gonna stop there. But yeah, a pretty good field for the men. Oh yeah, Bobby Roode. Yeah, there's one more. Shit, who is that last member? But yeah, anyway, it's gonna be a really good men's Money in the Bank ladder match. But yeah, but after the match, Big Cass will then lay a big boot to Daniel Bryan after for post-match assault. So I think we all know what that's going to set up for at Money in the Bank. That's going to set up a Money in the Bank match. A match at Money in the Bank, sorry. But yeah, that's how we end SmackDown. Well, SmackDown, I was going to give it a high rating, but having a fucking dance-off on a show that's actually supposed to be serious about wrestling affects it a bit. Like, there's no need for a fucking dance-off. Like, the cringe factor just goes up there. And it shows why people don't take the shit serious anymore. Like, you can't afford to lose any more viewers, as you already have. But my rating, 4 out of 10. It was meh. The only bad part was the dance-off. If we didn't have the dance-off, it could have been a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10. But hey, you know what? Still better than Raw. So yeah. Keep in mind, I am going to Niagara Falls Comic Con. I will have an update video. I think it's tomorrow. I'll have an update video tomorrow on it. Of course, I'll give you my vlog schedule for it. There will be at least 3 vlogs for it. 3 vlogs. Not 1, not 2, but 3. So you got that to look forward to. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone has a great day, and yeah, peace out.